In the bustling heart of Lagos, where the sun scorched the streets of Oshodi, Sarah stood at the entrance of the Grand City Mall. Her faded blue uniform clung to her frame, her name tag reading Sarah, attendant. The noise of honking danfos and shouting vendors filled the air, but Sarah's smile remained steady, a beacon of warmth amid the chaos. It was her second month working at the mall, a job she clung to like a lifeline. Behind her smile lay a story of loss. Sarah was alone in the world. Her parents had perished in a bus accident on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway 2 years prior, leaving her with no family and a rented room in a cramped compound in Ajij. The room's roof leaked during the rainy season, and the single window barely kept out the dust. At night, the skittering of rats in the ceiling kept her awake. Yet every morning, Sarah rose before dawn, scrubbed her face, and walked to work, her smile a shield against her pain. During her lunch break, Sarah sat on a concrete bench behind the mall, clutching a sachet of pure water. Her thoughts drifted to her abandoned dreams of becoming a nurse. She had been in her first year at the University of Lagos when her world collapsed. With no money for fees, she dropped out, taking up odd jobs, selling roasted corn by the roadside, cleaning homes in Ikeja, before landing this mall job. "I tried," she whispered to herself, her voice barely audible over the distant hum of the city. "I really tried." The mall was crowded that afternoon, shoppers weaving through aisles under the glare of fluorescent lights. Sarah was restocking shelves when she heard a commotion at the checkout counter. A woman's voice, soft and trembling, cut through the noise. "Please, I forgot my purse at home. I just need this yam flour." The cashier, a young man with a sharp tongue, scoffed. "Madam, you think this is a charity? No money, no umla. A beg, move from my counter." The woman, dressed in a simple Ankara dress, looked frail, her hands shaking as she tried to explain. Shoppers glanced over, some whispering, others ignoring the scene. Sarah's heart tightened. She approached the counter, her steps quick but calm. "What's happening here?" she asked. The cashier rolled his eyes. "This woman wants to buy yam flour, but has no money. Can you imagine?" Sarah turned to the woman, whose eyes were fixed on the floor. "Ma, is this true?" The woman nodded, her voice small. "Yes, my dear. I forgot my purse. I only needed this for dinner." Without hesitation, Sarah turned to the cashier. "Give her the yam flour. Take the money from my salary." The cashier blinked, stunned. "Your salary? For this woman?" "Yes," Sarah said firmly. "It's just one bag. It won't break me." The woman's eyes lifted, glistening with gratitude. "Thank you, my child," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. Sarah smiled, placing the yam flour into a nylon bag. "It's okay, Ma. Just get home safe." As the woman turned to leave, she paused. "What's your name, dear?" "Sarah," she replied softly. "Sarah," the woman repeated, a faint smile breaking through. "I'm Margaret. God bless you." She clutched the bag and walked away, her steps lighter. Margaret stepped into the sleek, air-conditioned mansion in Ikoyi, still holding the bag of yam flour. Her son, James Thompson, sat in the living room, scrolling through his tablet. At 32, James was the CEO of Thompson Enterprises, a conglomerate that owned stakes in malls across Nigeria, including City Mall. His father, the late Michael Thompson, had built the empire, and James had taken over after his sudden death 3 years ago. Despite his wealth, James lived quietly, avoiding the flashy lifestyle of Lagos's elite. "Mom, you're back," James said, looking up. "Why do you look so thoughtful?" Margaret sat beside him, placing the yam flour on the coffee table. "I went to the mall today," she began. "I forgot my purse, and the cashier humiliated me in front of everyone. But a young girl stepped in. She paid for my yam flour with her own salary." James's brow furrowed. "Which mall?" "The one in Oshodi." Your company has a stake there, Margaret said. Her name is Sarah. She's different. I want to see her again. James leaned forward, his voice firm. No one insults my mother in a mall we own. Tell me more about this Sarah. Margaret smiled softly. She didn't know who I was, yet she helped me. People like that are rare, James. James nodded, his mind already working. I'll find her, Mom. And that cashier? They'll answer for this. The next morning, James called his trusted aide, David, a discreet man who handled sensitive matters. David, I need you to look into someone. Her name's Sarah, works at City Mall in Oshety. Find out everything. David spent 2 days observing Sarah. He saw her smile at customers, help an elderly man carry his bags, and even share her lunch with a security guard. After work, she walked to a modest compound at Ajij, entering a small room with peeling paint. David spoke to her co-workers, who described her as hardworking and kind, despite her struggles. She lost her parents, one said, but you'd never know from how she carries herself. David reported back to James, handing him a slim file. She's clean, sir. Orphaned 2 years ago. Dropped out of university. Lives alone. Works hard, no trouble. James read the file, his expression softening. She lost everything and still helped my mom, he murmured. He looked up at David. Thank you. I know what to do. A week later, Sarah was wiping down shelves when a sleek black SUV pulled up outside the mall. Margaret stepped out, her Ankara dress replaced by an elegant gown. Sarah's eyes widened as she recognized her. Ma, you're back. Margaret smiled warmly. Sarah, I've been looking for you. Can you come with me? I want to thank you properly. Sarah hesitated, glancing at the busy mall, but Margaret's kind eyes reassured her. Okay, Ma, she said, stepping into the car. They arrived at the Ikoyi mansion, its grandeur leaving Sarah speechless. Inside, Margaret led her to a plush sofa. Sarah, what you did for me was no small thing, she said. I want to give you something in return. She handed Sarah an envelope filled with cash and a velvet box containing a gold necklace. Sarah's hands trembled as she opened them, but she gently pushed them back. Ma, I didn't help you for a reward. I just did what felt right. Margaret's eyes softened. You're truly special, Sarah. James, who had been watching from the doorway, stepped forward. So you're Sarah, he said, his voice calm but curious. Why did you refuse my mother's gift? Sarah met his gaze. I helped because it was right, not for money or gifts. I believe in earning what I have. James nodded, impressed. In that case, I'd like to offer you a job. Come work as my personal assistant at Thompson Enterprises. It comes with a good salary, a staff apartment, and I'll sponsor your education through an online university. Sarah's breath caught. Why would you do this for me? James smiled. Because kindness like yours is rare, and after what you did for my mom, I want to give you a chance to build the future you deserve. Sarah thrived as James's assistant. She was meticulous, organizing his schedule with precision and handling calls with grace. After work, she studied late into the night, determined to earn her nursing degree. James noticed her dedication, her quiet strength. He found himself lingering near her desk, asking about her day, drawn to her warmth. One evening, Margaret invited Sarah to the mansion for dinner. As they sat, Margaret watched her son closely. James's eyes lit up when Sarah spoke, his laughter softer, his smiles warmer. After dinner, Margaret pulled James aside. I see how you look at her, she said gently. She's a good woman, James. Don't let her slip away. James nodded, his heart racing. I know, Mom. I'm falling for her. Weeks later, Sarah arrived at the mansion with an urgent document. Margaret greeted her warmly, then led her to the sofa. Sarah, I have a question, she said, her voice serious. "Would you ever consider marrying my son?" Sarah froze, her heart pounding. I don't know what to say." Margaret smiled. "Just think about it. You're a rare woman, Sarah." Later that day, James invited Sarah for dinner at a quiet restaurant in Victoria Island. The soft glow of candles lit their table as they talked and laughed. Over dessert, James took a deep breath. "Sarah, I like you. More than just my assistant. I want to be part of your life." Sarah's eyes softened. "I like you too, James. You saw me when I was invisible to the world. You gave me a future. But it's your kindness, your heart, that I fell for." James grinned. "I'll wait for you to finish your degree. No rush, but I'm not letting you go." Sarah laughed, her eyes sparkling. "Deal, but only if you promise not to quiz me on anatomy." Months later, James proposed to Sarah under the stars in the mansion's garden. She said yes, tears streaming down her face. Margaret, overjoyed, planned a small engagement dinner, filling the house with laughter and warmth. Sarah continued her studies, balancing work and love with grace. James supported her every step, proud of her strength. Their love grew, built on respect and shared dreams. Sarah, once a lonely girl in Ajij, had found not just a job, but a family and a future. The story of Sarah and James reminds us that kindness plants seeds that bloom in unexpected ways. A single act of compassion in a busy Lagos mall changed a life forever, proving that love and respect can transform even the hardest paths into ones filled with hope. Thank you for watching. Kindly like, comment, subscribe, and share for more videos.